How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing the Make Happy series with Lower Your Expectations, and I think we have like a little bit beforehand. So before we get started, if you've been watching the videos and you've been enjoying them, consider hitting the subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. Now that we're done with that super long intro, let's get into the video.
I saw a gorgeous dick. I was in the public restroom. Some guys might be like me. I cannot use a urinal when there's a guy beside me. I freeze up, so I have to use the stalls. In this case, all the stalls were taken. I had to use a urinal. There was a guy beside me. I took a little look. You're not picturing this. All right.
I don't have that problem. So. What?
The bit is over. I'm not talking into his dick now. I didn't rip off his dick, and I'm now not talking into a severed dick. The show is a series of discrete bits. That one's over. God, you don't get that.
I don't know if I get this bit. Is it something about him being comfortable with his sexuality? I don't know. He seemed a little like...
Reset the momentum. I cannot be coasting off the inertia of past jokes. Need to earn it. Every bit should come out of a vacuum, eh?
Out of a vacuum?
We all want love.
Yep.
How many single ladies out there looking for love tonight? Yeah, woo that sadness out. Some more where that came from.
I swear the sun goes away every time I record.
Ladies, I know what you want. You want a guy that's sweet, a guy that's tough, a feminist who likes to pay for stuff, the kind of guy that gets along with your friends without being attracted to any of them. A good boy, a bad boy, a good bad boy, a half good, half bad, half boy. Loves your brother, sensitive but not weekend. Is a great lover, calls your mother on the weekend. Now you might think that this guy only exists in your mind. But guess what? You're right. If you want love, lower your expectations a few, because Prince Charming would never settle for you. If you want love, just pick a guy and love him. And if he's got a thing for feet, say fuck it, sweep me off them. Now
It's so true, like, especially in this day and age where everybody has this image of just perfect, right? On Instagram, social media, media in general, everybody is made out to be, seemingly perfect. Filters, Photoshop, all this stuff. Everybody always just shows, it's kind of like white woman's Instagram, right? Everybody kind of shows all of like the good things, right? And when you're scrolling and all you ever see is, perfect all the time, it does something to you. It slowly changes your perception of what real life should be like, which is not a good thing. Kind of like porn addiction, like guys and women, I'm sure. I'm speaking just from a guy's perspective. Like you watch those things and you think to yourself, like, man, this would be so great. Why don't I have that? Why don't I have something like that? And like all the time, whatever. Like, why can't I be married and do things like this all the time, right? But it doesn't really work that way. It's not real life. And it sets your expectations so high that when you're hit with reality, you're like really let down. It hurts and it like upsets you. And then you start to think like, is there something wrong with me? Like, why don't I have these things, right? I love how he's talking from like the girl's perspective and all the things that women want. And then at the end, he's like, you might think this may only exist in your mind. Well, guess what? You're right. I think women especially definitely have like really high expectations for men, but I also think men are very misunderstood. I think women think they know what men want, but a lot of the times those are just kind of like stereotypes or stigmas. They don't really know. It's just kind of assumed. Like they women only think that men are just about like, sex and just like that's it, right? But let's see what else he has to say, and we'll talk some more.
Love, just pick a guy and love him, and if he's got a thing for feet, say fuck it, sweep me off them. Now, the good thing is that at least men have very realistic expectations for women. He said, sarcastically setting up a second verse in a comedy's hog.
Comedy's hog.
You want a girl that's nice, a girl that's not obsessed with her looks, but is insanely hot. The kind of girl that you can show to your folks. Love the movies that you like and always laughs at your jokes. A real girl, a hot girl, a really hot girl, a brand new, really hot, real doll. Wants to impress you, doesn't care if you notice, and only ever uses you to tickle her throat with.
Oh my God.
You might think that this girl only exists in your mind, but she's real. But last week she died. If you want
okay.
love, lower your expectations a lot. You might think your dick is a gift. I promise it's not. If you want love, just pick a girl and love her. Then whip out your dick and let the girl you love decline the offer. I don't want a neat freak. I don't want a slob. Somebody with bedhead in a dead-end job. 'Cause I won't settle for less than perfect. We want perfect children, a perfect life, perfect husband or a perfect wife. But deep down we know we don't deserve. But
I'll pause it there. I don't want to like ruin the moment. We'll rewind and everything, but I want to get into it before it gets too far away from the second verse. So in the second verse, he's talking about the guy's perspective, and a girl that's insanely hot but not obsessed with her looks, laughs at all your jokes, and will let you tickle her throat, all this stuff. Like, yeah, guys, that it's the same. It's kind of the same way. We go back if you talk about something like, porn addiction and how for guys that creates, and again for women too, I'm sure it creates like that fantasy that, it's 99.9% of the time, that's not what your reality is going to be like. And then at the end he says, you may think, a girl like this only exists in your mind. Well, guess what? She does, but last week she died. So, that's kind of interesting for the women's expectations of men. It just doesn't exist, right? All the things he said, he said it just, there aren't men out there like that. It doesn't exist. But for guys, expectations of women, they are out there, but the one that you wanted, she died last week. So I wonder if he is trying to say that women in general hold men to such high standards or have such high expectation of, the perfect man, that there isn't a guy out there like that. But then, for men and their expectation of women, maybe our expectations are a little bit lower or more realistic, so there are women out there who are like that, but she's just not going to be the one for you. And then he talks about how everybody wants perfect life, perfect children, perfect wife, but deep down we know that we don't deserve it. And that's true, and I'm not sure if anybody really deserves anything like that, because nobody is perfect. Everybody comes with their faults and their flaws, and what kind of person would you have to be to have that perfect life and deserve it too?
down we know we don't deserve. But
But
we all deserve love.
That's a
Even on
little
the days
shaky.
when we aren't our best. Cause we all suck, but love can make us suck less. We all deserve love. It's the very best part of being alive. And I would know I just turned 25. That's young.
I think it was interesting there that he said at the very end that I would know, I just turned 25. Like kind of, sarcastically saying like, I know I'm saying all of these things that, everybody should lower their expectations and you shouldn't be, you should be realistic with yourself. But again, everybody does deserve love and, it makes us all better people and everything. And I would know, I just turned 25. So, I mean, I think something like love definitely does take experience. So it is, that line is like kind of true in a way, I feel like, because to me, love isn't a feeling. Love is more, it's kind of like a commitment and a decision and like a series of just like choices and compromises, right? Like I don't necessarily believe in, like love at first sight or whatever. Like I maybe like very, very, very rarely, you can lock eyes with somebody, passing by on the street and immediately like you just know, and the other person knows that that person is the one that you're going to spend the rest of your life with or whatever. But, most of the times that's not going to be the case. That little feeling of butterflies you get, when you're first starting to like get to know somebody and, take a liking to them or whatever. I mean, I feel like that's mostly lust and just like, that honeymoon phase of, something new and exciting. But then like, as time goes on slowly, you're going to start recognizing these little things that you don't like about this person. And it's going to be challenging to get over those things enough to make it work. And I think a lot of the times that's where relationships end, especially nowadays when we have this image of everything has to be perfect. We have this mindset of just everything has to be exactly how you want it and be perfect, and it shouldn't be difficult. Like love is difficult, guys. Like it is probably one of the hardest things, like making a relationship work, probably one of the hardest, most challenging things you will do in your life, because it is all about compromises and acceptance and all of that. Like if you are with somebody and you don't like something about them and you want them to change, then that is a huge red flag. If any of you guys out there are experiencing something like that, where somebody thinks something about you should change, I'm talking like big things, not like little things like, oh, like rinse your cup out in the sink before you put it in the sink or whatever, so it doesn't get nasty, something like that, like a little change like that, whatever, like that's, I feel like that's kind of more of like a compromise sort of thing. But just know that, and I see this all the time where people are unhappy because they're by themselves. But I mean, like, you really have to work on yourself as a person and know who you are as a person and be comfortable as yourself before you can even think about bringing in somebody else to join you on that journey, right? And yeah, you can have feelings for this other person. They can be your best friend. You hang out with them all the time. You have fun. You laugh. You enjoy each other's company and all of that. But love is 20 years down the road of being with that person, and you're still happy. You still laugh with them. They're still your best friend, and you want to be around them, even with all of their imperfections, right? And you both just kind of grow together. It takes time. Like, there's no fairy tale out there. Realistically, it's just all of that work and dedication and communication and compromise and everything that, and like everything that you experience together in their life, that's what eventually I feel grows to love. It's not something that's just there right away. Wow, I know I've just talked a lot about that, and I mean, this song is kind of short. The song itself, loved the song. I liked the piano a lot more than I did on Straight White Male. And I love how he got, you know, introspective and, you know, real and deep. Like, this song itself is like such good advice, and it has a really good message. It's funny because usually he's all self-deprecating, you know, about himself or whatever, but now he's kind of turning the tables a little bit and switching it on us, saying like, you need to lower your expectations. You need to lower your expectations. Like, we're not being fair. Nothing is perfect. And, you know, it really will help you grow as a person if you take into consideration all the things that he's saying. Like, this song is such good advice. Like, nobody is going to find that perfect person. And it's all about just, you know, you have that initial connection and then you just grow together. I really hope people see this song kind of like for what it is, instead of just kind of laughing and joking about it. Like, the guys thinking their dick is a gift, but I promise you it's not, and the women are like, woo, and it's like, I mean, it's got some funny like little one-liners or whatever, and it kind of caters to the crowd a little bit on like both the women and the man's side, but it really does give a good message. Man, I wasn't expecting that song. It was good. I liked it. Did have like still the funny bits here and there, but the overall message, if you couldn't tell, kind of hit home for me a little bit. So I hope all of you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a comment down below. I would really love to hear your thoughts about this one. Tell me if I missed, if I hit it, what you think. But other than that, as always, leave a like, comment, subscribe, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next one.